All right, shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakadash. All right, and what I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father. He's the one the world ignorantly calls God. In the name of his Son Yahweh Shai, who is the Messiah, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, ever well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. All right. In this lesson, all right, Water Yahweh, Bahashmi Yahweh Shai, allow me to be able to go back over, I'll go over Revelation, the 6th chapter. And Lord willing, I'll do, maybe in the future, Lord willing, go over it again, okay? But I just want to go in Revelation, the 6th chapter, just like that, okay? And this goes over, different things, okay? It goes over, different things, including the destruction, the coming nuclear destruction, all right? And hey, Lord willing, it's edifying. So this is Revelation chapter 6. It's like Revelation 6 and 1. It says, and when I saw the lamb, okay, right off the bat, let's get a precept. Off the back. All right, off the back. All right. The lamb, Yahweh Shai. St. John 1 and 29. The next day John seeth Yahweh Shai coming unto him, and saith, Behold the Lamb of Yahweh, which taketh away the sin of the world. All right. And this world here is Israel, as you should know. Okay. And let me just show you something if you don't already know. All right. The world definition on Google, you hit the drop down menu, right? And it expands the definitions. Okay. Under the second definition, right? It says a region or group of countries, a particular period of history, a group of living things. The people, places, and activities to do with a particular thing. You see? So it doesn't always mean the whole world, okay? It doesn't always mean all the nations in the world. It's talking about the world of Israel, okay? So the Lamb is Yahweh Shai. Revelation 6 and 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see, right? So he's open. So the Lamb here is opening the seals. You can read, the seals are talked about in Revelation 5, right? But it says, and I saw, and behold, a white horse. And then in the first couple verses down to like verse 12, down to verse 8, it goes over what's called the four horsemen. Yeah. The four horsemen of the Bible. I'm gonna just see what it says here. See, you gotta pick through it, okay? Pick, pretty much get, true to meat is spelled the bone. Says the four horsemen of the apocalypse are figures in the book of Revelation and the New Testament of the Bible, a piece of apocalypse literature attributed to John of Patmos and generally regarded as dated to about 95 AD. Similar allusions are contained in the Old Testament books of Ezekiel and Zechariah, written about 6 centuries prior. Though the text only provides a name for the fourth horseman, subsequent commentary often identifies them as personifications of pestilence, war, famine, and death. All right, but we're really gonna go into it and see what it gets. Okay. And these are some some of the artwork, okay, of it. And we know that Yahweh Shai, well, I just told you who the first horseman is about. We know Yahweh Shai is a so-called black man, right? This is accurate. All right, let me just continue. So Revelation chapter 6, right? And verse 1 again, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Okay? So, This white horse is talking about Yahweh Shai. All right. Well, let me say the rider on the white horse is Yahweh Shai. Okay. But specifically, let's read it again. Revelation 6:2. Slakia. I should have said that. All right. Revelation 6:2. And I saw and behold a white horse. Now, this white horse here, okay, some precepts. This white horse is talking about a chariot. Okay. It's not talking about, you know, a literal horse is going to come back in the sky. No Pegasus or nothing like that. All right. It's Revelation chapter 14 and verse 14. All right. And it says, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud. And we understand that clouds in the scriptures, all right, sometimes referred to as the chariots of the Lord. Psalm 104:3, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. See, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. All right. And, you know, I said, who walk upon the wind because they fly. All right. You know, the government today calls them UAPs, UFOs. All right, but we know what they are. And they're going to be the vehicles, all right, of salvation of the elect. Right. Revelation 14:14. And I looked and behold a white cloud. White represents purity, righteousness, right? And upon the cloud, one sat like unto the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai. Okay. And this also was a cut. You know, people saying Revelation 1:13, it says someone like the Son of Man. Well, because people, you know, like to say Revelation 1, right? Let me get it real quick. You know, they like to say in verse 13, and in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. They like to say, you know, it says, see, one that looks like this, you know, pretty much saying is not Yahweh Shai. So they like to say that, right? Well, if you're saying that, then who is this on this white cloud? Okay. Is this also not talking about the Messiah? Because it says like unto the Son of Man. All right. You know, it says, and I looked and behold a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, talking about Yahweh Shai, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. All right. Wait 1 second. Okay. So Revelation chapter 19. Right. Now moving on, show you more about the white horse, right? Revelation chapter 19. See, and it says, who the coming of who? Yahweh Shai, or anointed, or Christ in the Hebrew is Mashiach, which means anointed. Talking about Yahweh Shai. So Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. See, and I mentioned go to white horse again. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. Talking about who? Yahweh Shai. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse 14. And it says, and unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. And you see some red letters showing you how Shai said it. Okay. So he's, it says the faithful and true witness. All right. And then Revelation 19, it says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. This is Yahweh Shai. And that white horse is a chariot. Okay. We'll come back to this chapter, but now we go back to Revelation 6. It says, and I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. Okay. Yeah. Now the crown is not literally saying that Yahweh Shai is gonna before I get that right, because let me just make this clear. I like showing these different paintings and things. All right, but also too, because you see Christianity, is in the minds of a lot of people, man. All right, a lot of it's in the minds of a lot of our people. Okay, and they paint the Messiah as a so-called white man. All right, and you know You just, and then they put the different like literature up, the different art pictures and everything. You know, slocking for the noise in the background. All right. But then, I've seen this because I'm saying, growing up as a kid in Christianity or whatever, I've seen this, you know, um, this type of image here with a white horse coming out of the sky and everything like that. You know, I've seen that image in Christianity. Okay. To make you think that he's going to come back on a white horse. All right. You know, but we understand what this is talking about. Okay. They have all these different depictions. Like this one, I believe, is another famous depiction. Okay. You know, so, but you understand what it's talking about now. You understand that this isn't actually, a literal horse, and neither is the Messiah, a so-called white man. Okay. All right. And we understand. See, the thing is, when you understand the truth, you understand what's real and what's not. All right. Truth tells you what's real and what's not real. If you exposing a lie, right, then you're telling the truth. Okay. You know. All right. If you expose a lie, then you're telling the truth. Okay. And if you understand the truth, you can see through the lies. All right. Revelation 6:2 now says, "And I saw, behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow." Understand this is talking about Yahweh Shai. And that bow, when Apostle Ramla was going through it, all right, read about him in Psalm 45. Okay. It says, "And a crown was given unto him." Now let's get a precept. Once again, regarding this crown. Wait a second. Salakia. Wait a minute, just 1 second here. I can't even. Okay. Either way. Okay. It says, "And a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." Okay. Look at this word crown. Stephanos. Right? And it says crown, a mark or royal or in general exalted rank. The wreath or garland which was given as a prize to victors in public games. Metaphorically, the eternal blessedness which will be given as a prize to the genuine servants of Yahweh and in Hamashiach. The crown wreath, which is the reward of righteousness. All right. That which is an ornament, honor the one. Okay. What does this crown symbolize? Precept. Back in Revelation 19:11 now. "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war." Verse 12. "His eyes were as a flame of fire." You can read about that in Revelation 1:2, I believe. Slack if I'm wrong. It says, "And on his head were many crowns." Right? So what does it mean by on his head were many crowns? What it's talking about is when Yahushua comes back, he's going to take down the rulership of these nations. Okay? He's going to take down the rulerships of these heathens, man, around the world. Okay? So he's, literally like taking the crown off of them. But it's not saying that he's going to put, it's like I think I said literally, but he's, it just means that he's going to remove them out of power. He's going to take them, he's going to take down their rulership. Okay? He's going to conquer these nations, these heathen nations when he comes back. Okay? He's not literally going to put a lot of crowns on his head. Okay? But this is what it means here in Revelation 6 when it says, um, and the crown was given unto him. Okay? You know, it says, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Look that word conquering up. Nikao.
Strong's G 3528. Nikao. Nikao.
And it says to conquer, to carry off the victory, come off victorious over Mashiach, victorious over all his foes. Okay? And yeah, you know, and he's definitely going to take away the rulership of the so-called white man. All right? That's a fact. Okay? Let me get this precept here. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. And it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down. What thrones? The thrones of these heathen nations. And how are they going to be cast down? When Yahweh Shai comes back and takes them out of power. You see? So they're going to, so the thrones or rulerships of these heathen nations, because that's what the throne represents, rulership, you know, they're gonna get thrown down. Okay? These heathen nations, they're gonna get taken out of rulership and they're gonna go into slavery. I said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days, Yahweh, did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Okay? You know? You jump down to verse 27. Daniel 7 and 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, the Israelites, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. All dominions shall serve and obey him. Yeah, all the nations are going to serve and obey Yahweh Shai and his elect. You see? But they're going to have to be taken out of rulership first. All right? They're going to be taken out of rulership. All right? So you Christians talking about the Lord love everybody. Well, if he loves everybody, how is he going to come back and conquer everybody? All the heathen nations. How is he going to come back and conquer them if he loves everybody? You see? Doesn't make sense now, does it? So even in the book of Revelation, it tells you, okay, that he's going to conquer. Okay? Now, so we understand who this rider on the white horse is, man. All right? Now, continuing on now, moving on. Verse 3. It says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. And this horse represents Esau, right? The Edomites. This is who this red horse represents. Okay? Yeah, I mean, you should already know, right? This is the book of Genesis 25. And the thing is, I'm going to start a little bit up, all right? Because what's the name, man? I just seen something on God Logic's page. I was just scrolling through YouTube and I seen on God Logic page, they challenging Hebrew Israelites to come on live stream and debate them. All right. And I mean, it irked my spirit, but we ain't Great Millstone. We don't debate. All right. We don't do that. Okay. You don't debate the truth. Okay. The truth is literally undebatable. All right. But point is, right, under the comment section, okay, there was this woman saying, how do Hebrew Israelites believe Esau is the so-called white man when it said he had a twin brother named Jacob? I think they said after that, and Jacob's black. But basically that's what they were saying, right? So it kind of irked my spirit. But either way, so I'm gonna start from the top and read down to the point. And we're going to cover that twin parts. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, starting verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. Right? Abraham, one of his sons was Isaac, right? Verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah the wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian, right? So he's 40 years old, and he took Rebekah the wife. All right. Verse 21. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, right? Because she couldn't have children, right? And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Okay. Give me 1 second. Shalakia. Verse 22. So and conceived means became pregnant. Okay. But verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. And who's the children? Jacob and Esau. That's in her womb. All right. And struggle meaning fighting. So the children were fighting in the womb. All right. Let's see something. Salakia. Genesis 25 and 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. Okay. Verse 23. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Meaning, these 2 children, Jacob and Esau, they would each have their own nation of people. Right? You know? But, it doesn't mean everybody was in the womb at the same time. Rebecca, okay? But, it's talking about the 2 forefathers, they were in the womb of Rebecca, and they would each have their own nation, right? And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Okay? And it says, and the one people, which is Jacob, the Israelites, shall be stronger than the other people, which is Esau, the Edomites. And the elder, meaning the person who come out of the womb first, and his nation of people, shall serve the younger. The younger being the person who comes out of the womb second, and his nation of people. All right. And this still has yet to be fulfilled, right? Verse 24, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, when it was time for her to, have children, birth them. Let me look at that word delivered, actually. Yalad. Yeah, see? It says to bear, bring forth, beget, all right? To be born, all right? Let's read it now. It says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Now, see, this there's a lot of people, they say, oh, see, you say twins, so you can't say that Esau is a so-called white man. You can't, isn't Jacob, or you can't say Jacob is a black man. You just say twins, they both look alike. Well, no, that's not the case, all right, because you also have, look, because they think you're talking about identical twins. Now, identical twins, it says identical twins, also known as monozygotic twins, are siblings who share the same DNA and are born from the same fertilized egg. All right. It says identical twin, either of a pair of twins who, as a result of developing from a single fertilized ovum, are alike in all genetic characteristics, including sex. So it said that these twins that are identical are alike, but Jacob and Esau ain't alike. It says including sex and typically very similar in appearance, but they're not similar in appearance. Salakia. All right. And it doesn't talk about Jacob's skin color because everybody back then was brown like everyone else. Okay. But these twins that's being talked about here, all right, are talking about fraternal twins. Fraternal twins. It says either of a pair of twins who, as a result of developing from separate fertilized ova, okay, are genetically distinct and not necessarily of the same sex. Well, Jacob and Esau are of the same gender, okay, or more similar in appearance than other siblings. Let me just see something, you know. Identical twins. See, there's some pictures here. Single egg fertilized by single sperm that splits in two. Separate eggs fertilized by separate sperm. All right. You know. Let me just type this in. So I typed in, do fraternal twins look different? All right. It says yes, fraternal twins can look different. Fraternal twins can have different hair, eye, and what? And skin colors. And may or may not have the same sex. All right. So they can either be uh, male and male, woman and woman, or they can be male and female. All right. In this case, Jacob and Esau is male and male, and they don't look the same. All right. Okay. So these are different. And let me just look up dizygotic. Dizygotic twin definitions. Right. So dizygotic twins, also known as fraternal twins, are the result of two separate eggs being fertilized by two different sperm cells. Dizygotic twins are conceived when two eggs are fertilized by two different sperm cells, resulting in two zygotes. All right, so you get the idea. All right, so they're different. So these twins are talking about fraternal twins. All right, so they look different. They were just different. Okay. Verse 25. And the first came out red. See, Revelation 6, it said this horse was what? Red. All right. And we're going to get that picture of the four horsemen in a minute again. It says, and after that came his brother Slakia. And it first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. Doesn't mean that he was red and hairy. It's giving you an example, all right, of because of his because it said he came out red, all over like an hairy garment. Okay. So let me get this precept real quick, right? Let's see, is it this one? Okay, so this is, I'm gonna read this to context, right? This is Exodus 25. This is going into the building of the tabernacle in the wilderness, right? What was neat, some of the things that were needed to build it, right? So this is Exodus 25, starting at verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, that they may bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, fine linen. And this is a verse I meant to get. And ram skins, a hairy garment, what? Dyed red, all over like an hairy garment. See? So that's what it's going into. Okay. Let me see. Exodus 35, verse 7. Yeah, see the same thing. All right. Ram skins dyed red. All right. So it says, and the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they call his name Esau. Now, when you go here, all right, it says Ishah, but they changed it, man. Because I remember seeing it. All right. It's really supposed to be Ishashua. Okay. And right now, they changed it to where it says Harry. Okay. But really, it said before they changed it, wasted away is he. All right. And why are they wasted? Why does it mean wasted away? What does it mean red? All right. Because you look at a so-called white man, right? Their blood shows forth through their skin. Okay. They even call themselves rednecks. Okay, why do you think that is? All right, you know, and Esau, the actual person, Esau who was in the womb, but the actual person, Jacob, is the forefather of you so-called white people. All right, all right, but now we understand that. Okay, let me just get the thing about Jacob since it was mentioned. All right, since it first came out read all over like in Harry Garland, they called his name Esau. Okay, and this doesn't mean that Jacob was identical twin. Remember, these are fraternal twins. Verse 26. And after that came his brother. So wait, Esau is who? The elder. And who came out afterwards? Jacob. So this is written, the elder shall serve the younger. Serve. They're gonna be slaves to the Israelites in the kingdom. So why do people get mad when we say they're going into slavery? They're going into slavery. It's written in Revelation 13 and 10 that they're going into slavery. Okay, let me look at that word serve. Strong's H5647. I body. And it says to work, serve, to labor, work, do work, to work for another, serve by another by labor. Okay? All right. Well, keep in bondage, be bondmen, bond service. Okay? Slaves. All right? They're going in slavery. It's written from the beginning. And that's in the Torah, Hatawara. All right? For Genesis 25 and 26 now. And after that came his brother out, he's the younger, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And that's symbolic. And his name was called Jacob, which means supplanter, Yaiquab. All right. Strong's H3290. All right, Yaiquab. All right, and this means heel hold, but supplanter. And that's a characteristic. A lot of that. Well, I should say a lot of, but that's a characteristic so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans have. Okay, might trick you. Okay, you'll see. You'll see. All right. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it in this lesson, but if I don't, it's a characteristic they have, or we have, But so then after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, right? Sloppy. Okay, and that was symbolic because the Israelites, we're gonna take Esau out of power. Second Ezra chapter 6, starting in verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That's what we just read. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, meaning the end of the age. He'd be ruling at the end of the world, and then he'd be taken down. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. And after he's taken down, the Israelites are going to rule the next time period. After Esau's rulership is over, we're going to be the next ruling power over the earth, right? So, going back to Revelation 6, right? So we now understand that this red horse is talking about Esau. So it says, and there went out another horse that was red. Okay? And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Okay? Now, power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Okay? And I mean, look at the different things that this devil does, man. Okay, look what he did to the Israelites. He took us down, right? He put us in slavery. Okay? And even, coming up to somewhat modern times, another example is what? Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing. That's another way, Another example of taking peace from the earth. He goes into different lands and things like that, killing people, etc. He just causes mayhem across the world, man. All right? He just causes mayhem. All right? Let me get the scripture here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. And starting at verse 3. And it says, "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest, the Israelites rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear, from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve." Right, which Lord willing that day will come soon. Okay. "And thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon." Babylon is America. The king of Babylon is Esau, specifically now Donald Trump. And say, "How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased," right? The golden city talking about America because everyone emboldens America, you know? People, some people probably still literally think that America has streets paved with gold, and I tell you right now, it doesn't. Verse 5, "The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers." And the wicked is Esau. Malachi 1 and 4. Okay? But it says, "The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers." This goes back to remember when Yahushua comes back, he's gonna conquer these heathens. He's gonna take their rulership away, and especially Esau. So this has yet to come. Okay? And it says broken the staff of the wicked, and like the elder brother, the camp here, the head brother Taz of War, he said, you see these movies, ancient movies of war, an invading king will come and take over another king, and he'll take his scepter and break over his knee, showing that his rulership is going. All right. But continuing on verse 6, here's the point. "He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth." So I mean, this devil, he just continually, just brings hell on earth, man. He just causes mayhem. Look at that word mayhem real quick. Mayhem. Violent or damaging disorder, chaos. Just go through history, look at the things that he's done. Going into other countries, messing with those people. Look at what the so-called white man has done. All right. You know, he literally takes peace from the earth. All right. Bring 1 second here. All right. Why you think the whole world is in mourning? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. And it says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." And this is coming. Okay? This is going to come. And it's going to happen when Yahweh Shah returns. Isaiah 32, verse 1. "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, Yahweh Shah, and princes, the elect 144,000, shall rule in judgment." All right, so when they come, the earth is going to be happy. It's going to be, good time. It's going to be righteousness on earth, which is ultimately going to bring in peace. All right, so when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, which is said, Job 9:24, "The earth given into the hand of the wicked, the people mourn." And that's look at the condition of the world today. The earth is in a mourning condition. People killing themselves. All right, people just depressed. Animals depressed. You know, they're just bad. Okay, so this devil is taking away peace from the earth. But hey, that's that red horseman. Okay, and it says, "And there was given unto him a great sword." And this is undoubtedly Esau, man. Okay, because who else was given the blessing of a sword? This is Genesis chapter 27, starting in verse 38. And it says, "And Esau said unto his father Isaac, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Okay, so Esau, right? He was begging for a blessing from Isaac because Jacob supplanted, which was all set up by the Lord to do. All right, so it was nothing wrong with it. It was set up by the Lord that Jacob would get Esau's blessing. The blessing that was supposed to go to Esau went to Jacob, and that was done by the Lord. All right, okay. But it says, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, "Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth." Yeah, you know, they they have the whole earth in their power. They have the resources of the earth, all of that. You know, and of the dew of heaven from above. They are they in control. The they control the skyways and things like that. They have control of all of that, man. Wait 1 second. You know, they controlling the airwaves. You know, we had space stations, helicopters, planes, and all of that. Right? Here's the point. And by thy sword shalt thou live. See? And by thy sword shalt thou live. Yeah. You know, that's why you see him with, you know, this devil, what? He loves, you know, using a gun. Okay. You know, you see how he is with the gun and go to the gun range and shoot and everything. You know, hit all the targets. All right. And he has, when he was taking down, he was taking down the so called Native Americans, he had the Gatling gun. Okay. This, all right, which is like an old school machine gun, pretty much. You know, well, in this case, you know, right here is like an old school machine gun. All right, to take down the Native Americans. Okay, you know they have nuclear weaponry now. All right, tanks, planes with guns on it, robotic, robotic dogs that could shoot, etc. So their blessing is the sword. They have that blessing of having the sword, man. Okay, you know, and as I was going watching Apostle Tahar go into this Revelation the 6th chapter, he pretty much saying though they wouldn't go into them other countries unless they had that military behind them. You see, you know. But this devil's blessing is the sword. It says, "And shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck." All right. So this is Esau. This red horse here is Esau. Okay, that is the so-called white man. All right. You see, even in the last book of the Bible, Genesis to Revelation, the so-called white man is mentioned as a wicked person. See, verse 5. Moving on. It's the third seal. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. Oh, and by the way, Salaki, before I continue on. So that's why before I was saying this red horse here, having, you know, a so-called white man, you know, with a sword, you know, this is accurate. Okay. This right here, this is accurate right here. Okay, the so-called white man. All right. Okay. This is accurate. And I believe I meant to say also regarding this white horse. So I don't remember. I think the Elder Ramlov has said how Sakari, whatever, was saying how this rider on the white horse can't be the Messiah because the Messiah is the one opening the seals. Well, the thing is, right, as the Elder had went into, the Messiah can talk about himself, like, you know, like in the previous, in some, you know, the previous scriptures before the Book of Revelation, the Messiah already talked about different things that he would do. Okay, so I mean, it's not far fetched. He said he would come back with clouds. It's like with the chariots, you know, what the clouds are. You know, he would sit on the throne in the regeneration. All right, the sheep and the goats. So I mean, he already talked about it. Okay, he talked about, you know, different things he would do. So it's, you know, that's because, you know, he's the one open the seals. Doesn't mean that this ain't him. Okay, but continuing on, Revelation 6 and yeah, one more thing about that red horse, you see that sword, that blessing of the sword, man. So this is accurate right here. Revelation, and this is a painting that says four horsemen of the apocalypse in 1887, painted by Victor Vasnetsov. On the left, devour death, famine, war, and conquest. Death, famine. Well, it says, we're going to get it in a minute. This says war, but you understand what it's talking about, Esau and conquest, because Yahweh Shai, and we know Yahweh Shai is a so-called black man, but Yahweh Shai is coming back to take over these heathen nations when he comes back, right? But Garner's third horseman, right? Revelation 6, with his third horse, Revelation 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Okay. Now this is talking about slavery. All right, when uh, Jake was here in the Americas going through slavery. Because why? Because when you look at that word balances, okay, you go into the Greek of the word balances here. This is a pair of balances, zygos, okay, or zugos. Let me hear him say it.
Strong's G 2218, Zugas. Zugas.
All right. Zugas. All right. And it says here, a yoke. All right. Even up here, it says what? A yoke, right? A yoke that is put on draught cattle, metaphorically used of any burden or bondage, as that of slavery. You see? And see, even here it says servitude, okay? Because, you know, and in the curses, slavery was promised to us for breaking the Lord's laws. Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna jump around here. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse, let me see. Okay, it's down here. Deuteronomy 28 and 23, right? Dealing with the first half, it says, "And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass." Okay, and this is going into, you know, like slave collars and things. Okay, and let me just type it in. Matter of fact, let me type this one in. You know, there's a certain picture where he actually has a whole like cage over his head type of thing. You know, that they put on us as slavery. Okay, but it says, "And the earth that is under thee shall be iron," and that's that's you know the chains they would put on the slaves' feet. Okay. You know, these things. All right. But regarding that yoke specifically, all right, that yoke, jumping down to Deuteronomy 28, starting in verse 47. "Because thou servest not Yahweh thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, and hunger." And yeah, with the so-called white man, we got to go to him, you know, his restaurants, his stores, and everything. He wants something to eat, right? Even if you want to plant in your own yard, where you gonna get the seeds from? See, and then thirst, you know, and then nakedness. You want clothing, you gotta go to them to get clothing. If you try to make, you know, your own clothes, where you gonna get the material from? See, it says, "And in one of all things," here's the point, "and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." And that yoke of iron, we literally had that in slavery. Okay, all you gotta do is go. I don't even have to type in Israelite, yoke of iron, Israelites. All I gotta do is type in yoke of iron on Google and go to images. And let me see. It should pop up here. Matter of fact, yeah, see, this pops up. You know, you can see that picture, right? Yoke of iron. You know, that's that slave collar. Okay, that damn slave collar they had on us, man. Okay. So this is going into slavery. You know, this black horse here is going into slavery. All right. So you see, Revelation 6:6 now says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts." Oh yeah, and by the way, before I move on, actually, looking at this, man. All right, the Lord don't forget about none of this. America's original sin is what? Slavery. America's original sin is a term used to describe the country's history of slavery and its legacy of racism and white supremacy. So, yeah, slavery against who? The Israelites. You know, and the scriptures say how the Lord hasn't forgot about it. They want us to forget about it, but the Lord ain't. Revelation the 18th chapter and verse 5 says, "For her sins," talk about America's sins, "have reached unto heaven." Everything is done from the time it began, including its original sin, slavery, all the way up to now, right? It says, "And the Most High has remembered her iniquities." The Lord has remembered everything. So the Lord didn't forget. And in the kingdom, reward her even as she rewarded you. So people that run America, Esau, They rewarded us with slavery, so we're gonna reward them with slavery. And double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. See? They go into slavery, man. So it's gonna flip. All right. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10. Verse 13 and 10. And this chapter is really going into the so-called white man. All right. Revelation chapter 13, starting verse 9. So why did the apostle John write this? If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. See? Why did the apostle John write this? Being that this whole chapter is going to the so-called white man, because they're going to go into slavery when it's all said and done. All right? You know? Scriptures don't contradict themselves. Psalm 149 talks about slavery. Isaiah 14 talk about slavery. Isaiah 60, 61 talk about slavery. Jeremiah 30, 16 talk about slavery. All right? Etc., man. You know? Going back, Revelation 6. So this black horse is talking about slavery. Verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. Okay, and dealing with this, let me get a precept for this. This is the book, 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 21. And it says, behold, victuals, which what are victuals? All right. Victuals, food or provisions, like groceries, provide with food or the store. So victuals is talking about food. All right. So it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, meaning a good situation. Because at one point, things, were cheap. I remember, but I went to a ShopRite one time and remember buying a big ass Gatorade bottle for $1. I remember that. That was a while back. I remember that, man. Okay. So at one point, stuff was cheap. However, it says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Yeah. And like another brother said when he was breaking Revelation 6 down, right? Ever since, the pandemic, well, I said that word, but ever since that time, all right, stuff has been getting expensive, right? Or let me just say stuff. Stuff has been getting expensive too, but stuff has been amping up, all right? And it's going to get even more, okay? So it's what this is going to right here. It says, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine, okay? And this is talking about, the truth ain't going to be distorted, all right? Because the elect is going to, receive the truth, all right? They're going to receive the truth. They're going to, so moving on. Verse 7, it says the fourth seal. Now it says, when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. All right. It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse. All right. Looking at this. This would be this horse over here. All right. This pale horse. Okay. It says, and his name that sat on him was Death. All right. And hell followed with him. Right now, because what? A lot of death is about to come in these last days, man. A lot of people going to die, man. A lot of people. All right, let me get this one. Actually, I'll give the next verse real quick. 2nd Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them, actually, no, it's not the one I wanted. But that's a good one, too. Maybe I'll come back to that. 2nd Ezra 6 and... Yeah, I'll come back to that. I'm going to come back to this. Let me get this one first. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as come in the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken, meaning killed, in a great number. A lot of people are going to die. So in a great number. See, in the way of truth shall be hidden, feminine of the word, and the land shall be barren of faith. Right? So a lot of people are going to die. That's that pale horses, that's coming, you know. And his name that sat on him was death. And hell talking about the grave following him. All right. Now, let me get let me continue reading. It's a hell follow with him. This doesn't mean literal hell is gonna get up, you know, and follow. It's not mean hell like there's some place on the earth that's gonna rise up and start moving around the earth. No, this is talking about the grave. Okay. I also seen how brothers were saying all those conditions because with this pale horse, well, let's continue. It says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. All right. And this stuff is coming. So this pale horse, you can read, the things that represent this pale horse in 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, which I had a precept from 2nd Ezra 16 and 15. All right. But 2nd Ezra 16, verse 22 to 23. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. See, it's that hunger. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. There you go, people. So in this time, some people that don't die of famine, they're gonna die by the sword. All right, they go that hunger to kill with the sword and with hunger. Okay, it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and dead bodies everywhere. See, that's that death. And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted and the city shall be cast down. Okay, and this pale horse really represents, Jacob's trouble. Okay, so this stuff is coming upon the earth. And can't no Donald Trump save you from it. Donald Trump ain't gonna keep this pale horse in the stable, man. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and his name that sat on him was death. And power was given to him over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. See? And also, too, actually, before let me get this scripture here. This is Jeremiah 15. So I'm going to start abbreviating it. Jeremiah 15, starting verse 1. You see, it says, judgment must come. Then said Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Talking about the Israelites, towards the wicked Israelites. Cast them out of my sight, let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, such as for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword, and such as for the famine to the famine, and such as for the captivity to the captivity. So there you go. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith Yahweh, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. All right, so these things, it's gonna happen. All right, you have different things, that different ways, the Lord gonna be killing people out here, because the Lord is gonna do it. Deuteronomy 30. Let me get this real quick. Deuteronomy 32, and another one is showing that the Lord kills. Another scripture showing the Lord kills. This is 1 Samuel 2 and 6. Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. See? A lot of people don't believe the Lord kills. Okay? Every 1 second here. So I had some music playing and whatnot.
Okay, you're watching YouTube. But did you know there's a...
Let me just play it back. Have some background music and whatnot. So I don't know what this one is. I don't even know if that one is Slovakia. Okay. Anyways, all right. So yeah, moving on now. All right, let me get wait a second. Yeah. Actually, let me see. Can I get and well, let me say it like this, right? When you just when you read this chapter, it goes into how things is gonna get dire and everything, man. All right, stuff is gonna get real dire out here. Okay, stuff is gonna get real extreme. All right, and also too, like for example, this one, 16 and 32, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and all her ways, it's like in her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. All right, and this is an example, all right, of we're just talking about, is how you see these different movies and games. You see like different things like this, and they call it. Hold on, what is it called here? It says when nature takes over buildings, it's known as naturalia. Here are some examples of nature reclaiming abandoned spaces. All right, but when you see different things, like this, all right, this type of stuff is coming. All right, because it says here, let me get it. Let me read up a little bit from it. Second Ezra 16, right? It says, because it goes into how we read previously before, right? A lot of people, like for example, up here, Second Ezra 16 and 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. See? Because a lot of people are going to be dying, so it's not going to be a lot of people to upkeep, etc. And when that happens, the nature grows over buildings, cars, things like that. All right. And in these conditions, animals come out. Okay. Animals come out in these conditions, man. All right. You have different games. For example, you had this one game, which is a really good game to play, called The Last of Us. Right. It's a good game to play. You see the background and everything. All right. You know. And these type of conditions are actually coming. All right. These type of conditions are actually, going to be here. We're going to be living in them. It's that pale horse. All right. But the animals going to be out too. And they're going to be killing people. But they're not going to touch the elect. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 20. And it says, verse 22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So I tell you that the animals going to be out here. What do you think? Because even now you got bears and stuff wandering, okay, throughout America, throughout different places around the world, right? As for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So the animals are going to be out here, and they already out here now. So how much more when all hell break loose? You might even have some animals get out of the zoo and everything. Okay, you know. So the pale horse is Jacob's trouble, man. Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:1. But continuing on, Revelation 6, verse 9 now. It says, And when they had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar. So we went through the first one talking about Yahweh Shai coming back and conquering. The second one talking about Esau taking power from, it's like take peace from the earth and him having a sword. This one talking about slavery, and victuals being good cheap, but then the famine, you know, um, then it's like it then the bad conditions starting to rise up. Here they talk about pretty much Jacob's trouble. All right, now verse 9 says, when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony which they held. And they cried, and this is going to the men of the Lord that died around on this side. Okay. It's going to the men of the Lord that, that are in heaven currently that died in the faith. All right. So they're up there right now in the spirit world, right? Saying, it says, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? Okay. So they're in the spirit world pretty much crying, as Lord, like, when you going to send your Yahweh Shai back? When you going to, send your son back? When you going to bring judgment, man? When you going to do this? When you going to, when will the time be you going to judge and avenge us? All right. So they up there crying, like saying that stuff to the Lord now. Okay. And it says, and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Okay. All right. Because there's still some of the elect that has to be martyred for the truth, though. All right. Get a precept. So, hey, if you one of the elect that gotta, get martyred for the truth and everything, man, just understand it's a part of prophecy, man. Okay, and you fulfilling it. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, being a so-called white man, shall cast some of you into prison, into these concentration camps, these FEMA camps, and everything. He's going to take some of the elect in the prison, right, and put them in there. You may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days, which is any amount of time. So you could be, you could be there for a day, a month, a week, however long the Lord sees fit, right? It says, "Be thou faithful unto death." So through everything you go through in there, you got to remain faithful unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, even to the point of death. You can't give up. You can't renounce your faith. You can't do none of that. You have to stand firm, all right? Or else, what? You're going to be destroyed. Because then I will give thee a crown of life, all right? And this was going, this was initially Revelation 2, all right? I mean, it's still meant for us today. And we could see that, in these times it's going to happen again, all right? But, it's going back to the different churches Yahweh Shai told the Apostle John to write letters to, okay? But let me get this one, Revelation chapter 20, verse 4, right? And it says, actually, hold on. Yeah, you know what? Revelation 17, 6. Revelation 17:6, it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. See? Blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. Right? That's Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And it says, there's a future prophecy, and we live in these times now. The part where it talks about them getting beheaded. Right? Apostle John saw these elect men reigning with Yahweh Shai. Okay? But it says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Right? So the Apostle John saw these men in the kingdom sitting on thrones, these Israelite men in the kingdom sitting on thrones. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of Yahweh. They were actually beheaded. They had the actual head cut off. It says, why? For the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark to see him. And so we see this, we're in these times now, where it's about to get made mandatory, right? Upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Okay? So See, so some of the elect are going to have to become martyrs for the Lord. All right. Look at that definition of the word martyr. Martyr says a person who is killed because of their religious or other beliefs. Kill someone because of their beliefs. All right. And it's a part of prophecy, man. All right. As Yahweh Shai had told Pontius Pilate, right? St. John chapter 19, start in verse 11. Yahweh Shai answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. See, that's the point. So this devil, when he comes down against us, right, you know, he wouldn't be able to unless the Lord allowed him to. Like right now, the Lord didn't allow him to do anything against us. Is why, we still out there preaching and everything. Okay? The Lord didn't, um, give him any power to do it yet. It's not time. See? But there will come a time when they will round some of us brothers up, all right, and martyr us. And it's all written. It is all written, man. It's going to be all right. It is going to be all right. You know, you have to get comfortable with that too. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12, starting at verse 4. And I say unto you, my friends, be not afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. See? How should I call us his friends, right? But those that kill the body and afterwards can't do anything else, that's mortal men, right? So Yahweh Shai saying, don't fear them. Verse 5, but I will forewarn you whom ye shall fear. Fear him which after he hath killed hath power to cast into hell. Hell talking about a bad condition in this context. Yea, I say unto you, fear him and Yahweh, right? Because the Lord can kill you in this life and bring you back in the next life in a deformed body, make you blind from birth. You'll be deformed, crippled, etc. And guess what? You got to live through that. You can't function like everybody else. You can only leave when the Lord allows you to leave that body. Meaning, when the Lord decides for you to die, that's the only time you could get out of that. And you got to live through that. So you rather fear the Lord who can do that rather than fear mortal man. All right, and they can't even touch you, as we just read, unless it was given them power from above. All right. So ain't no need to fear this devil. Okay. So the Lord already allowed us to understand these things. So when it happens, it happens. Okay, we've been expecting it. Oh man, shit. It's lock it. All right, I'll just have to do like this. Damn, we're having it side by side. I could just flip through it. It's lock it. All right, Revelation 24 again. All right, it says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or on their hands, and lived and reigned with the Mashiach 1,000 years. All right, so we understand, hey, even though you got to be martyred, you're going to be reigning with Yahweh Shai in the kingdom, sitting on thrones. See, Apostle John said he saw these men on thrones and those that were beheaded for the truth. He saw them sitting on thrones too. And judgment was given unto them. You see? They're going to reign with Yahweh Shai, man. And Yahweh Shai gave his life, so we got to give our life, man. So be it. So be it. And guess what? The Lord ain't going to forget about you. Just like he hasn't forgot about those that have already passed into the spirit world. Those of the elect have already, not saying the Lord and forget about regular people too, but I'm just saying regarding them. This is the book of First Thessalonians 4:13. So he says, those who died in the Mashiach. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, and those that died in the faith, passed into the spirit world, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. This is comforting when you read this. All right. And, if we got to die for this truth, that is why the scriptures is called the comforter, man. Maccabees 12:9. Therefore, we also, albeit we need none of these things, that we have the holy books of scripture in our hands to what? Comfort us. Comfort, I believe, goes in the meaning soothe. The thing is, we don't know, we don't know if we're going to be those men that have to be martyred. We might not. We'll get it in a minute. Because the devil ain't going to get all of the elect. It's written. Comfort. It says to solace, to help strengthen. Let me look at that word solace. Let me just look it up real quick. Solace. Comfort or consolation in a time of distress or sadness. Give comfort or consolation to these scriptures. That's where you're supposed to get your comfort from. You see? All the stuff we go through, this is where the scriptures are where we're supposed to get our comfort from. Soul is to help, strengthen. From late Latin, confortare, to strengthen much. All right. Strong. Fortis meaning strong. It says in Middle English, give or add strength to, encourage, urge, exhort. And the scriptures always talking about exhorting, which means encourage. You see? So these scriptures are comforting, man. All right. So if we gotta, once again, if our lot turns out to be martyrs for the truth, then we just have to deal with it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4:14 now. For if we believe that Yahweh Shai died and rose again, which he did, as even Josephus talked about it, even so them also which sleep in Yahweh Shai will Yahweh bring with him, meaning those that died in Yahweh Shai, right? Verse 15, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord, right, shall not prevent them which are asleep. And this here tells you that all of the elect ain't gonna die. See, all of you elect brothers out there, this devil ain't gonna be able to. The devil ain't gonna martyr all of us, man. All right, and I say us, Lord, I'm part of the elect myself. All right, so that we which are alive remain until the coming of the Lord. Right? Because what? So this devil ain't gonna get all of the elect, man. It ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. Mark 9:1. Yahweh Shai said this. And he said unto them, verily I say unto you, that there be some of them that stand here, which shall not taste of death, till they have seen the kingdom of the Most High come with power. All right. So this scripture says that all the elect ain't gonna die. 1 Thessalonians 4 says that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord. So they're gonna be elect, still living and alive by the time Yahweh Shai returns. But it says that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent, which is word prevent. When we read it, it says shall not prevent them which are asleep. And prevent, all right. The Strong's G5348, right? And it says Stheno, right? And it says to come before, proceed, anticipate. So it means to come before. Okay. See, it says to be beforehand. So it's saying, so ultimately what it's saying, and here read it again. 1 Thessalonians 4:15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. Meaning that those are the elect that are alive by the time Yahweh Shai returns. They're not going to get on the chariot before those that have went back before those of the elect that have went back into the spirit world. All right. And then it breaks it down. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Hamashiach, those that died in the faith, the elect, shall rise first. They're going to be on a chariot first. Then, see, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, in the chariot, to meet the Lord in the air. So after the elect that have passed into the spirit world on a chariot, then those that are of the elect that are alive, they're gonna get beamed up on the chariot, next. And then what? And so shall we ever be with the Lord. And then you're gonna be with the Lord forevermore. From that point forward, you're always gonna be around the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. See? So, hey man, we gotta be martyrs for this truth. Hey, it is what it is. It's simple as that. It is what it is. It's fine. But those that have died in the faith, hey man, their works follow them. This is the book of Revelation 14 and 13. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead, which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works, the works they done in this truth, do follow them. Okay? So their works follow them, man. All right, but getting back to Revelation 6. All right. So there's the men of the Lord that's in the elect that's in the spirit world right now. They, saying to the Lord, when you gonna send your son and send a judgment on earth? When you gonna, when is that time gonna come? When you gonna do that? All right, but all of the elect, all right, but there's some of the elect that has to be martyred still. Okay, so it's prophecy. All right, verse 12. It says, terror says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. Okay, and this earthquake is talking about the nuclear missiles hitting the earth. Isaiah 24 and 20 says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And that word reel, all right, means to shake. And why? To quiver, totter, shake, like a drunk person, just it says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. The missiles is going to cause it to do that, right? It says, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 12. Starting verse 12 to 13. The earth quaketh, meaning shake, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Why? For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, which is the nuclear silo. That's the bow where the arrow sits in. His arrows, which is the nuclear missile, the ICBM, that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Hence the term ICBM, intercontinental, meaning across continents, aka the ends of the world. Okay, ballistic missile, right? That's what's going to cause the earth to quake. That's what we're talking about. I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth. Talking about, because nuclear missiles, when they drop, they look, like stars, falling. When the Apostle John saw us, they look like stars falling. All right. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Let me just see something real quick. Let me see something. These Christians think all of this is literal, okay? But look, stars falling from the sky, right? The missiles, hey, for America, what did it say? It said, because hold on, Salakia. This looked like this is like missiles falling, okay? But in Revelation 9, what did it say? 200 million or 200,000. Talking about the nuclear warheads, all right? Stars that haven't fallen. It's like, but in Revelation 6, these will be the missiles, okay? Revelation 6, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. That wind is talking about nuclear wind. Hey, in Revelation 7, it talked about a wind. Jeremiah 51:1, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. See? That that nuclear wind, the nuclear missiles. See? Let me continue on. Back Revelation 6:14 now. And the heaven departed as a scroll. And the heaven talking about Esau's rulership is departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. Okay? Because when you look at this is talking about and that references back to Isaiah 34. All right. When you look at what it's talking about is this. It's known as a mushroom cloud. Okay. This is what it's talking about. All right. This is actually going to happen in this country of America, the United States of America. This is actually coming. Okay. This is going to be the second death, as the scriptures talk of. It says here, a mushroom cloud is a distinctive cloud that forms after a large explosion and is most commonly associated with nuclear explosions. All right. See? You know? It says, here's what happened when a mushroom cloud forms. Fireball. The explosion creates a fireball at the epicenter. Look at that word epicenter real quick. It says the point of the Earth's surface vertically above the focus of an earthquake. The central point of something, typically a difficult or unpleasant situation. Right? So the center, the explosion creates a fireball at the center that vaporizes everything in its path, including soil and water. So you see how if it vaporizes everything, so then that tells you how to that just helps you understand it. It shows you how America is going to turn into a desert. All right. And it says vacuum. The fireball's ascent creates a vacuum which is filled with smoke and debris to form the central column of the mushroom cloud. And that would be that would be like, this part right here, the vertical part, as it said, that would be the vertical part of it. Okay. That vertical part right there. All right. It says the fireball's ascent creates a vacuum which is filled with smoke and debris to form the central column of the mushroom cloud. It says flattening. The fireball reaches a point where the air is dense and cold enough to slow its ascent, causing it to flatten. Mushroom shape. The cloud continues to rise and flatten, forming the rounded cap of the mushroom. Because, all right, now the thing is, right? Because it says this is the cap, right? And then this is the skinny vertical part of it, right? Now let's put this side by side next to a rolled up scroll. All right, because in the ancient world, you had scrolls, right? Where is it? Let me type like this. All right. Let me see. All right, I'll just use this one like this, right? I'm gonna zoom in. Okay. Now picture this one, right? Or either one of these, right? Either one of these two right here. Picture it vertical. All right, and in the middle you have the skinnier part. At the end you have that rounded cap at the end. Look, that looks like a mushroom cloud. Okay. So you look like, picture this as a scroll at the end, at the top, you would have the rounded cap, and under that you would have the vertical part of it. See? So that's what the scripture's talking about. So it's letting you know nuclear destruction is coming. Here we go with this again. Oh man. Lock in. All right. Okay, so going down again, Revelation 6 and 14, it says, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." Okay. So we got to scroll now. Verse 15, it says, "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." Right? Because what this is talking about is these underground nuclear bunkers. Okay. Let me type in elite. You know, and on CNN they even tell you billionaire bunkers, how the 1% are preparing for the apocalypse. Or in this apocalypse, let me get that definition. Apocalypse, it says the complete final destruction of the world, as described in the biblical book of Revelation. And we know the earth abideth forever, so the destruction of Esau's world, it's going to be the final part of it before the kingdom of heaven. Right? Esau's era is over with. Okay? Now, at the end of the era, when this nuclear destruction takes place, right? It says, "The kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman, Slakia, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, because these elites are going to run into these underground bunkers that they have, all right, to avoid the nuclear destruction." Okay, they're gonna be in these. I mean, they're not gonna be in America. Okay, I mean, you might have. Let me say this, right? Now, you might have some people, other people or whatever that make bunkers here in America. Okay, but as the scriptures say, everything, America's ain't gonna be nobody left here, right? But you're gonna have, these elites, okay, they have their bunkers wherever they have them, and they're gonna run into the underground bunkers, okay, and they're gonna do that to escape the nuclear destruction, right? As it's written in prophecy, okay. And not only them, but you're gonna have military men, generals, sergeants, construction people, even, different types of engineering people, okay, down there, because the elites. All right, they want, after the nuclear destruction, they want to come out and rebuild, but that's not going to happen. All right, because they're gonna go into slavery. All right, because the elect are going to go down there into them bunkers after the destruction. All right, and get them and put them in slavery. They're gonna be our first crop of slaves, man. Just real quick. This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 16. And it says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them." And we're doing this now, right? With this word, we're fishing for the elect. It says, "And after will I send for many hunters." So these same fishers are going to be turning to hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, right? And from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Okay? So elect is going to get them. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9. And right to the point, verse 2. "Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them." Though they go into hell, talking about underground. Okay, you know, it's going. Let me get this real quick. All right, first word hell here. Cause these Christians, man, they always want to, they just want to stick with this hell doctrine. This underground inferno place. They want to stick with that. But this Hebrew word for hell is sha'awal, right? It says Sheol, underworld, but it's the grave. It's talking about the grave, man. All right, and the grave is what? Underground. So when it says they should dig into hell, are they literally digging into the underworld? No. Okay. How you going to dig into the? If Christianity's version of hell is real, how you going to dig into? How you going to dig into hell, and then the Lord going to have people take you out of hell? I thought you once you go there, you're supposed to stay there forever. You see, doesn't make sense now. It doesn't. Put your mind to that. All right. So though they dig into hell, so it's talking about underground. Not talking about. It's talking about underground, man. I'm gonna say it like that. It's talking about underground. That's where the nuclear bunkers are gonna be. The elites ain't gonna get destroyed in the nuclear fire. They're gonna go into slavery. Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them, because the man of the Lord is gonna go down there and get them. All right. Go into those underground bunkers and force them into slavery and bring them out of there. And they're going to bring them out of there and force them into slavery. They're going to be slaves, man. What are they going to do against the elect when they changed? You can't do nothing against them. You see, they changed, new bodies. What are you going to do? Fight back? That's not going to help you any. You're going to go, these elites going into slavery. Psalm 149 says, though they climb up to heaven, so they got international space stations, or they try to escape judgment up there, thence will I bring them down. The elect going to go up there and get them. Bring them down, put them into slavery. See, at this time, the elect going to have, are going to have these, incorruptible and immortal bodies. Okay. Verse 3, though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, then shall I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Okay. So boom. All right. So we understand that. And these billionaire bunkers, and even now, all right, it talks about nuclear bunker sales. This came out December 18th, 2024. It says the market for U.S. bomb and fallout shelters. All right. It says it's forecast to show, it's forecast to grow from $137 million, all right, last year to $175 million by 2030. According to a market research report from Blue Weave Consulting, the report says major growth factors include the rising threat of nuclear or terrorist attacks or civil unrest. These things is coming, all right, because the Lord is, hey, this is Jacob's trouble we about to enter into. That pale horse about to ride, okay, all right, but and nuclear destruction is ultimately about to come, all right, and I'm gonna get something else, all right, because now today is literally December 31st, all right, 2024. This is the so-called last day of the new year, right? And as I'm speaking about it, the brother GMS Karab Miami just put up a lesson saying Spiritual Spill episode 330 2025 is about to be live. Go check that out. All right. So another thing too, you have what's known as the Doomsday Clock, and they update it every January. Okay. So Doomsday Clock, let's go to their official site, thebulletin.org. If it loads. All right. It says it is still 90 seconds to midnight. So when it gives you the past of what the clock times were, uh, let me just type in what is midnight on the Doomsday Clock. Midnight, it says a hypothetical global catastrophe is represented by midnight on the clock, with the bulletin's opinion on how close the world is to one represented by a certain number of minutes or seconds to midnight, which is then assessed in January of each year. But says a global catastrophe. AI overview on the doomsday clock, midnight symbolizes the point at which humanity is considered to be on the brink of global catastrophe, representing the moment when Earth will become uninhabitable for humans. Why would that be? Nuclear destruction, essentially signifying the end of civilization as we know it. And what weapons can do that? What weapons can end civilization? Is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. And it says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire." Because the Lord is creating. Who is that smith? The Lord put it on Esau, right? The Lord put it on these scientists, right, to bring forth this nuclear technology, create these nuclear missiles, right? So now bringeth forth an instrument for his work. Now that instrument, well, let me say that I have created the waster to destroy. So nuclear missiles have been created to be used. Joel 2, starting at verse 1. "Blow ye the trumpet of Zion, and sound an alarm on my holy mountain," which did some of our apostles and elders of great millstone and like-minded brothers under them are doing now. We're warning the people. The trumpet is a sound of warning. Let's see something. Okay? The trumpet is a sound of warning. All right? That's what we do. We go out there in the highways and hedges. Lift up thy voice as a trumpet. Okay? Let them know that the destruction is near. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, cometh. For it is nigh at hand. That's the day of the Lord is when the nuclear missiles are shot and Yahweh Shai returns. And it said what? For it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. And this people is talking about the nuclear missiles, not literal people. And look, it says, "There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations." Because pretty much saying, right, that these nuclear missiles have been made to be used once, and after that, never again. Okay? After this second death, these nuclear missiles ain't gonna be used no more. All right, it's gonna be, and also, further on down the line, it's gonna come a point where these nuclear missiles ain't gonna exist. You know why? Because we'll come back to this, Lord willing. But when you go to let me get this. Ezekiel 39, right? And jump down to verse 9. It says, "And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth." Now we know the land of Israel is going to get nuked, okay, during this World War III that's coming, okay. But it's talking about the elect, because the elect gonna be in the chariot. So after the nuclear destruction, right, the elect gonna come down out of the chariot. It says, "And shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows and the handstaves and the spears. And they shall burn them with fire 7 years." Meaning, for complete amount, pretty much after the elect come out of the chariots with those new incorruptible bodies, immortal bodies, they're gonna burn up all the weapons on the earth. And all the military weapons, the fighter jets, the guns, tanks, those helicopters, and then what? The nuclear missiles. You would think, well, how are you going to burn up the nuclear missile? It would just blow everything up. But think about it. We have spiritual power. You don't think we'll be able to contain that? All right. Verse 10, it says, "So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forests." Right? Because we're not going to need any wood out of the field. We're not going to need to cut down wood to make this fire. It's going to be fire from spiritual power to burn these weapons. It says, "For they shall burn the weapons with fire." You see? So, "And they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them," said the Lord Yahweh. So it's a part of prophecy that we're going to take these nations in slavery. Okay? We're back in Joel 2, right? And verse, I wanted to get, right? Oh yeah, because I was reading here. It's uninhabitable. Right? So Joel 2 and 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. And you can look up what a desolate wilderness looks like on Google. That's the future of America. Okay? That's what a nuclear missile can make this a reality. That's why Albert Einstein, I believe, said, I think it was him. Yeah. There's a quote by Albert Einstein that says, the quote, I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV, which ain't going to be no World War IV, will be fought with sticks and stones. See? Because it is often attributed to Albert Einstein. However, it has also been attributed to President Harry Truman and an unnamed U.S. Army lieutenant at the Bikini Atoll A-bomb test. All right. Oh, but it says here, mass destruction could damage much of the earth, kill many humans, animals, and other living things, and cause the collapse of modern civilization. All right. But as we know, the elect gonna come back out of the chariot, and under Yahweh Shai, the world's gonna be set back in order. It's gonna take a period of 1,000 years. But regarding this nuclear destruction that's coming, the elites and everything, they're gonna run into these nuclear bunkers, to escape the nuclear destruction. Verse 16 is said to them, but they are ultimately not gonna escape slavery. That's what comes after the nuclear destruction. It says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, which is Yahweh, the Most High, aka the Ancient of Days. Who's a so-called black man from the wrath of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, who's also a so-called black man, who was the son of the Most High. This shows that the Heavenly Father and the Messiah are not the same. It says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Yeah, and only the elect, because the Lord going to deliver them. The Lord going to deliver the elect. But the great day of his wrath, that day of the Lord, that's going to be one. It's going to be, man, a day like the world has never seen before, man. All right? If you ain't of the elect, you're in trouble. I'll say it like that. All right? But, yes, in Revelation 6. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say, and after this, after the destruction and everything, all right? Yahweh Shai is, go, after the destruction and all that, Yahweh Shai is going to, conquer the world with his elect, conquer these nations. Then that white horse is going to start riding. Okay. So, this was Revelation 6. Lord willing, maybe I'll go over it again, Lord willing. All right. But, Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to whom rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.